Hey, good afternoon. It's Commissioner Mitchell. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
We can hear you, Commissioner, in the
Thank you.
agenda room.
Good afternoon, commissioners and chair.
Good afternoon,
Afternoon.
Commissioner. We can see you. Are you still in Florida for NARUC?
I am.
Has it been a good meeting?
Yes, it was. It was really good. It was very worthwhile for me.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. Commissioner Coleman's here. No, it's not.
What are you yawning for? Oh, that barbecue.
Is that what it was?
Turkey. Oh, I could literally eat those jalapeno grits every day.
Trip to pan. Isn't that what it is?
You put some fan?
Yeah.
In the turkey?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes. Well, no, that means we're gonna fall asleep going to late.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long one too, so.
Yes, it is. Add some more coffee.
I'm on a caffeine and sugar break.
For you.
It's been tough though. I did have a bite of a donut earlier because I'm broke. 7 days and I'm broke this morning.
I was gonna ask you how that's going with this day.
It
Yeah.
was terrible. I walked in and I saw the homemade chocolate chip cookies. I was like, no, that is not fair. So I had a bite.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm
terrible.
eyeing the chocolate lasagna. Doug said him and his family made it. You're all the rave reviews, so that's on my list.
Glazed donuts are just a weak spot.
Kayla Quakermas brought donuts yesterday for the night
You're not
before.
muted.
Went immediately. Got us.
What's that?
Not muted.
Oh, great.
We're not muted.
You're not muted. Well, guess what?
Just
Glazed donuts are a weak spot.
we may just be a few more minutes. Commissioner Coleman is on a phone call. She's trying to wrap up, so it may be slightly delayed. Yeah, you can go ahead and mute. Ready? All right. All right, it is just after noon today. All commissioners are present, so we'll begin the agenda meeting for today, Thursday, July 18th. I would ask those who are participating on the call to please mute your phone unless you need to speak. Before we get started today, I want to recognize a member of our team who's tomorrow, it's his last day. Alex Antel has been at the commission now for over 10 years. On staff, advising commissioners, advising chairs. I haven't worked with Alex a long time, but I'll certainly miss having him in our policy and legislative meetings, bringing different ideas to the table and generally working with him. So we wish you well on your next adventure.
Look,
And I would just like to say that Alex has done a tremendous job for me, especially as, you know, a brand new commissioner, and helping me learn the ropes and getting me up to speed, and has just been a real pleasure to be around the last few months. So I appreciate all he's done for me as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Alex. Today, there are 7 tariffs in orders, 3 case discussions, and 1 closed discussion item. But first, we need to approve the minutes from the July 10th, 2024 agenda. Those minutes have been provided in advance. Commissioners, are there any changes or modifications to those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting those minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, the minutes are approved. The first tariff in order today is in the matter of Evergy Missouri West Demand Side Investment Mechanism Rider Rate Adjustment and True Up. On May 31st of this year, Evergy West filed a tariff sheet with supporting testimony to adjust its Demand Side Investment Mechanism, or DSIM, rider under MIA. Commission rules require Evergy West to adjust its DSIM rates to reflect the amount of revenue that has been over or under collected. The proposed tariff sheet decreases the current DSIM rider rates for all customer classes, including residential. For a residential customer using about 1,000 kilowatts a month, this change will decrease the customer's bill by $1.25 per month. The commission issued notice of the filing, set an intervention deadline, and directed staff to submit a recommendation. On June 28th, staff recommended the commission approve Evergy West tariff sheet, and no other responses were received. Therefore, the order before us approves Evergy West DSIM tariff sheet. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Goldmeyer.
I'm in support.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order as well.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, that order is approved. Second tariff in order today is in file number ER-2024-0351 in the matter of Evergy Missouri Metro's Demand Side Investment Mechanism Rider Rate Adjustment and True Up. Similar to the last order, this case involves a filing Evergy Metro made on May 31st of this year to adjust its DSIM rider under MIA. Again, commission rules require Evergy Metro to adjust its DSIM rates to reflect the amount of revenue that has been over or under collected. Evergy Metro's proposed tariff sheet decreases the residential DSIM rate, but slightly increases the rate for some of the larger customer classes. For a residential customer using 1,000 kilowatts a month, this change will decrease the customer's bill by about 60 cents a month. The commission issued notice of a filing, set an intervention deadline, and directed staff to submit a recommendation. On June 28th, staff recommended the commission approve Evergy Metro's tariff sheet, and no other responses were received. Therefore, the order before us approves Evergy Metro's DSIM tariff sheet. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Goldmeyer.
I support the order.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order as well.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, that order is approved. Third tariff in order today is in file number EO-2024-0331 in the matter of the application of Richard and Felicia Murphy for change of electric supplier from Como Electric Cooperative to Union Electric Company, DBA Ameren, Missouri. On May 3rd of this year, Richard and Felicia Murphy filed an application with the Commission requesting to change their electric supplier from Como to Ameren. The application states that the applicants do not have a current electric supplier, but through a territorial agreement, their current supplier would be Como. In order to begin providing electric services, Como would have to supply 3,800 feet of service line at great cost to both Como and the applicants, and have 2 landowners sign easements. On June 5th, Ameren, Missouri filed a response stating it would be able to provide service to the applicants at little to no cost. On July 2nd, the parties filed an agreement wherein the parties agreed to change the supplier from Como to Ameren. The agreement indicates that the staff and OPC do not oppose the agreement. No objections were filed. Section 393-106 RISMO gives the Commission authority to order a change of supplier on the basis that is in the public interest for a reason other than rate differential. The parties agree that Como cannot presently meet the customer's need for service without great cost to Como and the applicants, which is independent of any rate differential. Therefore, the order before us approves the agreement. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Goldmeyer.
I'm in support.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, that order is approved. Fourth tariff in order today is in file number WR-2024-0104 in the matter of the request of Liberty Utilities, Missouri Water LLC, DBA Liberty, for authority to implement a general rate increase for water and wastewater service. On March 13th of this year, Liberty filed proposed tariff sheets to increase its annual water revenues by a total of $7.9 million and increase its total sewer revenues by just over $75,000. The Commission directed the parties to submit proposed details for our local public hearings. Staff submitted proposed locations for 8 in-person local public hearings and 2 virtual hearings. Liberty then proposed to the Commission limit the number of local public hearings to 4 in-person and 2 virtual. The order before us sets 6 in-person local public hearings and 2 virtual hearings. The order also directs that notice shall be provided to customers of the hearings. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Goldmeyer.
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, that order is approved. Fifth tariff in order today is in file number GA-2024-0257 in the matter of the application of Spire for a CCN to construct, install, own, operate, maintain, and otherwise control and manage a natural gas distribution system in Newton County as an expansion of its existing certificated areas. On March 22nd of this year, Spire filed an application with the Commission seeking a CCN to provide gas service in Newton County as a further expansion of its existing certificated area. The application also included a request to waive the 60-day notice requirement. Natural gas service is not currently offered by any other entity in the proposed area. 3 potential commercial customers and 3 residential customers contacted Spire requesting service in the area. In addition, a current commercial customer contacted Spire requesting service for an expansion of its business that would include 2 warehouses. On June 6th, staff filed a recommendation that a CCN should be granted for the service area described in the application subject to certain conditions. Staff's analysis concluded that the expansion is economically feasible and there is a customer need. Staff also agreed the Spire's position that good cause exists to waive the 60-day notice requirement. On June 17th, Spire filed a response regarding staff's recommendation in which it agreed to staff's recommended conditions. Therefore, the order before us grants Spire a CCN subject to staff's recommended conditions and waives the commission's 60-day notice requirement. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I'm in support of the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I support the order.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order as well.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, that order is approved. Sixth tariff in order today is on file number GO-2024-0180 in the matter of the application of Spire for approval of the Carbon Offset Initiative. On November 29th of this year, Spire filed an application for approval of a Carbon Offset Initiative and a request for waiver from the Commission's 60-day notice requirement. The Carbon Offset Initiative is designed as a voluntary program that allows residential and small general service customers to participate by opting in by selecting a fixed dollar amount that they want to purchase toward renewable thermal credits or verified carbon offsets. The Commission provided notice of the application, allowed time for responses to the application, directed its staff to file a recommendation, and established a deadline for intervention. MIEC was granted intervention. On June 28th, Spire and staff filed a stipulation and agreement. The agreement states that OPC and MIEC were advised of the agreement, that OPC did not object, but that MIEC did not respond. Commission rules allow non-signatory parties 7 days to object to a non-unanimous stip and agreement. More than 7 days have elapsed and no party has objected. The Commission finds the terms of the agreement reasonable, and the order before us approves the agreement and grants the waiver of the 60-day notice requirement. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I support the order.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, that order is approved. Seventh tariff in order today is in file number GR-2023-0157 and the matter of Spire, Missouri, DBA Spire's Purchase Gas Adjustment or PGA. This case had been held open pending resolution of an off-system sales adjustment proposed by staff in a prior Spire West ACA case, case number GR-2022-0136. On May 1st of this year, a resolution was reached in that case. The Commission then requested staff file an updated recommendation in the matter, which staff did on June 28th. No other responses were received. Therefore, the order before us today orders the ending Spire West ACA balances consistent with staff's June 28th recommendation. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I'm in support.
And Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order as well.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 5-0, that order is approved. We are through the tariffs and orders, and now on to case discussion. The first case discussion item involves 2 cases, GX-2024-0326 and file number GX-2024-0337. One in the matter regarding RNG programs and the other one in standards of quality.
And we have a rulemaking hearing set for Tuesday, July 23rd, and beginning at 10 a.m. in the large hearing room. We received the comment period ended yesterday. We received 5 written comments on the renewable gas program rule and 3 on the standards of quality rule. I'm in the process of getting a summary of those comments to you all. I completed them. I'm expecting there to be some additional comments orally at the hearing and probably some comments in response to the comments that were filed.
I can see in this particular hearing, staff's input would be especially valuable, as most of the comments I read are, I'd say, fairly technical in nature. So I look forward to staff's feedback on those comments. Any other comments or questions from commissioners? Seeing none, moving on to the next case discussion and file number EO-2023-0136 in the matter of Union Electric Company, DBA Ameren, Missouri, support filing to implement regulatory changes in furtherance of energy efficiency as allowed by MEA. Judge Bridgen.
Chair Hahn, Commissioners, good afternoon. I just have this memo on to remind the Commissioners of the hearing set to begin Monday at 9 a.m. on Ameren's MEA Cycle 4. As Judge DePel mentioned, you have a rulemaking hearing Tuesday morning, so we will obviously break and get back to it Tuesday afternoon. The position statements were filed last night, so I'm working on supplementing this memo to get you the parties' position statements. I hope to have something to you later this afternoon.
Great. And the general positions so far are that OPC and staff do not recommend any energy efficiency programs, and the company is recommending several.
That's correct.
All right. Any other questions from any commissioner? Seeing none. Okay, moving on to the last case discussion item, file number EO-2023-0277, and the matter of the 11th prudence review of costs subject to commission approved fuel adjustment clause of Evergy, Missouri West. Also you, Judge Bridgen.
Thank you. I put this memo on to see if the commission knows how it wants to vote on the Evergy prudence review, FAC prudence review case. You have no operation of law date, but I wanted to get this on for you as quickly as I could after reply briefs were in. Basically, I'm asking the commission, do you think Evergy were imprudent in using the FAC the way that it did? And if so, what disallowance, if any, does the commission want to impose? And I'm happy to try to answer any questions if you have any, and see if you have any thoughts on how you want to proceed.
Thank you, Judge. For me, reviewing your memo, there's really two questions presented. Is there a serious doubt as to the prudence of the FAC expenditure? Because it's our responsibility to determine how reasonable people would have performed the task that confronted the company at the time. And then two, was Evergy Missouri West decision not to acquire sufficient generation to protect its customers from the risk of the market and instead rely on the market to meet the load imprudent. Thinking of the larger picture in this case and others that have similarly come before us, it is not only one of our large electrical IOUs and a capacity shortfall, it's at least two of them. As I've said before, I think this is concerning. I do think that OPC did elevate the discussion of meeting the criteria as to creating a serious doubt as to imprudence in this case. As highlighted by OPC's Exhibit 304, Evergy Missouri West hasn't been able to meet their load since 2008. As further highlighted by OPC, depending on the market does create risk for customers. That being said, customers also have to bear the cost if the company builds additional generation. At the time, Evergy Missouri West relied on its uncontested IRP, showing that its least cost estimate would not be to build additional generation. That was likely a reasonable assumption at the time, so I don't think at this time it warrants a disallowance. But times are changing and rapidly. And for me, this highlights a few issues and proposed solutions moving forward. Again, in this case, I think this highlights a need to focus on uncontested IRPs to make decisions. It also highlights that we need to meet our capacity needs for both current and anticipated load. I would encourage our utilities to meet the challenge and build additional generation, preferably in Missouri, where our ratepayers can recognize and receive the benefits of that generation, because borders matter. I don't want to lose jobs, tax revenue, or football teams to Kansas. There should be serious consideration also of merging Evergy, Missouri West and Metro. I'm unsure of all the factors involved in that merger, but it may help alleviate or diminish the potential shortfalls for Evergy, Missouri West. So generally, I would not be in favor of a disallowance at this point in time. Other commissioners, Commissioner Coleman.
So give me a little bit of information about your position on where the parties have fallen on some of the things that they agree on. And then, of course, some concerns that you mentioned in your memo.
I don't know that the parties agree on much of anything other than perhaps what to articulate the prudence standard. Evergy, I think, would argue that public counsel has not created a serious doubt as to the prudency of its expenditures, as I've laid out in the memo. I'm inclined to think the public counsel has created that serious doubt. And then the question becomes, does Evergy have enough evidence to overcome public counsel's serious doubt? And again, the parties are very far apart. Evergy would, of course, recommend no disallowance, and public counsel's recommended disallowance is somewhere in the neighborhood of $86,300,000. So not a whole lot of middle ground here.
Yeah, that's a spread. Okay, thanks for that answer.
Other commissioners, Commissioner Holzman.
Well, I want to go back to the merger. We heard testimony that they've been thinking about it for a while and talking about it for a while, but that there's no clear path to how they're going to get there or how long it would take. And we heard that if they started today, it would take, I think, I remember 5 years. Yeah, 5 years was what I remember him saying. But the generation is there that if they did merge, some of OPC's concerns would potentially be allayed. So I'm with the chairwoman on the disallowance of this one here, but I do think that we should probably see something from the company that lays out a path and a timeline for how they're either going to get capacity addressed or they're going to merge those two companies, and probably both of those things.
Commissioner Goldmeyer.
It's hard for me to disagree with anything that's been said. So I don't know what more I can add, other than I agree. If it's going to take that long to merge, it is concerning. It's almost telling me they don't want to, when they want to push it out that far. But I agree with your position, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Oh, thank you. I just have a couple of comments about this, and in my mind, two completely separate but related issues are the merger and the timeline that it would take. And I never heard in any of the testimony that they were wanting to do that or willing to do it. It was just, if we were to do it, this is how long it would take. And here are all the complicating factors that go along with it. Part of it being on the Kansas side, part of it being on the Missouri side, and then the agreements and other complicating factors that were made when those two companies were purchased and formed. I think those all are complicated issues and would take some time to work through. But what I never heard in the testimony was, whether or not the company wanted to make that merger or was willing to move forward making that merger. So I agree with Commissioner Holzman that I do think we need to see a plan as to how they would do that and some, indication of a commitment to do it, because I think it is patently unfair to the customers in Evergy West's territory that that they're bearing the cost of that market uncertainty risk that's inherent without having generation capacity or having enough generation capacity in West. So that kind of brings me to the second issue is, in my mind, is the lack of generating capacity in Evergy West and their lack of ability to participate in the benefits of the energy market. So again, I agree with Commissioner Holzman that we need to see a better plan and a better commitment as to how we're going to achieve additional capacity in Evergy West territory. Given the thought that it could take 5 to 10 years to get capacity built in that area. So I tend to agree with the chair on the disallowance, but I think it really is important to get a message to the company that it is important to get these two companies merged for the benefit of the customers and to get moving on capacity in the Western District. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you, Commissioner. We're going to have a resource adequacy summit coming up. Is this going to be any part of the discussion that's being had?
Yeah, so we will have the Resource Adequacy Summit. Evergy is participating, our utilities are participating, our RTOs are participating. This is the focus, right? We don't have enough generation to meet load. It should be, we need to focus on it, maybe differently than we focused on it before, because this really hasn't been a problem that has confronted our state before. So we need to figure out, kind of assess the situation we're in and figure out a proactive way so that we don't end up in this situation again with all of our stakeholders. So that's the purpose.
And I would say further, to OPC's credit, I thought that in the hearing, the suggestion that there could be harm is real. The disallowance, in my mind, doesn't reflect that there was harm from a cost perspective. But I think that OPC bringing this, to the forefront and requiring this conversation will hopefully then drive the Resource Adequacy Summit to get us a little further down a path that we won't be here in the future because something has changed. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what OPC is saying, is that we've been going along this route and nothing has changed. And we've been kind of, gambling a little bit that we're not going to get caught up in a price issue. And so we should take this opportunity to get on a path where we don't have this risk in the future.
Absolutely. Are there other comments or feedback from commissioners? Board Pridgeon, do you have what you need?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have one other discussion item, which is a closed litigation item. So I'm going to go to scheduling first, so that after scheduling, we can go to closed session and adjourn there shortly thereafter. So for scheduling, we did have a hearing that was supposed to continue until tomorrow, which has concluded, so there will not be an evidentiary hearing tomorrow. Next week, Monday, July 22nd to Friday, July 26th, there is an evidentiary hearing in case EO-2023-0136 and Ameren, Missouri's fourth filing to implement regulatory changes in furtherance of MIA, room 3:09 a.m., Judge Pridgeon. As also already noted by Judge DePel, Tuesday, July 23rd, we have a rulemaking hearing in the RNG and the gas quality rulemaking dockets. Tuesday, also July 23rd, there is a local public hearing in case WR-2024-0343 in the matter of the request for an increase in annual water system revenues for a small rate case, and SR-2024-0344 in the matter of the request for an increase in annual sewer system operating revenues, small utility rate case, which is WebEx only at 6 p.m. with Judge Hatcher. Next Wednesday, July 24th, we will have agenda slightly earlier at 9 a.m. and we will follow that with a USB meeting. The week following, Monday, July 29th through Thursday, August 1st, we have local public hearings in case ER-2024-0189 in the matter of Evergy, Missouri West request for authority to implement a general rate increase for electric service with Judge Pridgeon. Also that week, Wednesday, July 31st, we have agenda at 10:15 a.m. Those local public hearings in the Evergy West rate case are Monday, July 29th at 6 p.m. at St. Joe's City Hall Council Chambers. Tuesday, July 30th in Lee Summit North High School Performing Arts Center. Wednesday, July 31st, 6 p.m. at Sedalia City Hall Council Chambers. Thursday, August 1st, 12 p.m. WebEx only, and Thursday, August 1st, 6 p.m. WebEx only. Commissioners, are there any changes or modifications to the schedule? Seeing none. We are back to our last item for the day, which is a closed item. So I would make the motion to go into closed session to discuss litigation under section 610.021 subdivision 1 RISMO.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All those in favor of going to closed session, please say
Aye.
aye.
Aye.